I stayed up real late last night to watch the Celtics. I was doing some other work, some editing, and it's like, 11 p.m. here in the Central Time Zone, so just after midnight on the East Coast. And I tuned into the second half of the Celtics game, and they're not playing very well. They're down at halftime by 1, and then they're down in the third quarter. And I'm like, what is going on here, man? I literally, before I clicked into the game, I'm like, Harden must be giving them fits. And come to realize Harden's not even playing for the Clippers. Like this okay Clippers team. And he's not playing. Kevin Porter's having a big game. Derek Jones has a nice fourth quarter. The place is like, it looks like a beautiful new arena, the Dome there in Inglewood. It's like 70% full, 65% full. The NBA champions are in town. So I got to imagine Ballmer's pricing some fans out there, because what the hell? Like, they're going to have no problem drawing against the Lakers tonight. But it's just, the Celtics go on a run to at the end of the third, start of the fourth. They're not up by more than like 7 or 8, but they're kind of controlling the game. And then it just falls apart. Man, like, what is up with this team in the fourth quarter? They didn't play many tight games at the crunch time at the end of tight games in the NBA playoffs last year, and analysts were kind of giving them shit for it. But it was because they would pull away before that. They'd pull away with 3 minutes left, not with 1 minute left. And then when it came down to the finals, specifically that game 3, like, they do play well in the clutch in that game. Jaylen Brown hit some big shots, and they kind of put the Mavs to bed in that game when Dallas is throwing the kitchen sink at them. And this year, they crumble at the end of these games. And it was no different last night. They're up 4 with like 20 seconds left with the ball. And then Jaylen Brown happens. So in the last 30 seconds of regulation, with the Celtics up 4, Jaylen Brown has the ball. LA is starting to double team here. And really the one you can't do two things. Don't turn the ball over, and therefore don't commit an offensive foul, because that's essentially a turnover. He gets doubled. He dribbles to the corner for some reason and hooks a guy. Offensive foul. Clippers get the ball. They get a layup. 2-point game. Once again, under 15 seconds left here. So they're going to try and quick trap, and then they're going to foul. They get the ball to Jaylen Brown. Once again, massive mistake. Gets double teamed, throws it away, live ball turnover, layup, tie game. Like, what the hell, man? Like, what are you doing? It kept coming down to this situation where it was like, boy, the Celtics just can't do this thing. And Jaylen Brown is going to do it. He's going to do that one thing. Because then we go into overtime. And there's a play where the Celtics are up like 3. I think I want to say there's like 2 minutes left. And they turn the ball over. Luke Cornett turns it over, or so it appears. They go to the monitor. They see that it's off a Clippers. I think it was Derek Jones again, off his fingers. And so it's Celtics ball. So during this review, Joe Mazzulla has time with the guys. He's got the clipboard out. He can draw up a play. This is like to kill the game off. And what do? They give it to Jaylen Brown. 5 seconds into the shot clock, he takes a contested fadeaway jumper and misses it. Essentially a turnover. Like, that's the look that you got out of the timeout. And once again, like, we're not done with the Jaylen Brown folly show. And if they had any more depth, if they had Holiday or some of these other guys willing to play, instead of playing Jaden Springer for 20 minutes, who had an awesome game, they should have sat Brown's ass down, because now they're up 5 with 30 seconds left in overtime. I took notes on this because Scal on the broadcast literally says, whatever you do here, just don't give up a 3. Anything else is pretty much fine. Just don't give up a 3. That's the only thing that gets them right back in it. What do? Derek Jones beats Jaylen Brown off the dribble, gets to the basket, layup, and one. Jaylen Brown gives up a 3 at the basket. Like, what the hell was that? What is this team's effort down the stretch? What is this team's basketball IQ? Because Jaylen Brown's supposedly like the smartest guy to ever play NBA basketball ever, was just going to turn down the NBA to go like play chess or something. Someone, definitely not Jaylen Brown, wrote in his Wikipedia page just how damn smart he is. And yet, when we're under 2 minutes to go in the game, he's the dumbest basketball player they have. No basketball IQ whatsoever for a conference finals and NBA finals MVP. I don't get it. Like, I was so impressed with Jaylen last year. Like, last year, Jaylen was awesome. And I thought he was better than he was in 23. Helped the team more than even 23 when he made the All-NBA team. And I thought from 23 to 24, he just got better at everything. They talked about the left hand. He became a better ball handler. He became a better shooter. He became a better facilitator. He was unstoppable in transition. He became a better defender, the defender we thought he was going to be coming out of Cal. And now we're regressing. I don't know if he's playing with an injury or what, but if he is, he needs to sit his ass down. He's hurting this team. He was killing this team last night, killing them. He literally almost cost them the game. And maybe if he had his druthers, he would have. But he threw the game away in the last 30 seconds of regulation. Like, literally threw it away. Just threw it to the Clippers. Wanted the game to go into overtime. Like, what the hell was that? I know it's this team, and this team has struggled down the stretch, but last night was the Jaylen Brown show. And it was no better than the Michael Richards show. Like, it was awful, man. Oh, I just, what the hell? And this is not, like, last night was the pinnacle of Jaylen Brown's suck this year, but it's not been a good stretch for him. And yet I've got these Celtics writers, these green teamers telling me Jaylen Brown needs to be playing more minutes, that he's not playing enough. I hope they were watching last night, man, because Jaden Springer bailed their ass out. Oh, what a game for Jaden Springer. But this was just a shit show from the Celtics in crunch time, and specifically from Jaylen Brown. Supposed to be the second best player on the team, you know, one of the 10 or 15 best players in the league. And he's not been that, man. He's not been that. Like, his scoring total, his points per game, I should say, his points per game are better than last year, but everything else is not. Man, his three-point shooting is down. His effective field goal percentage is way down. His field goal percentage is as bad as it's ever been. It's worse than his rookie year. His turnovers per game are about as bad as it's ever been in his career. Like, it's been not good, even though you see the 23 a game and he's still pulling down similar rebounds and such, but his field goal percentage is literally the worst of his career right now. 45.3%. 3-point percentage has dropped 4 percentage points from last year. That's a big drop. I was hoping he would go up 3 or 4 percentage points. I thought he would get closer to that 40% three-point shooting, and now he's getting closer to 30% three-point shooting, 32%. Effective field goal percentage, again, worse than his rookie year when he was so raw, you know, as a 19-year-old kid. 50% effective field goal percentage. Ugh, just not good at all. Yeah, 2.8 turnovers a game, only worse than his All-NBA season in 2023, which is kind of funny. But yeah, it's not been efficient by any stretch. He gets 25 last night. See, that's why it's so misleading. 25 points last night. Like, nobody was feeling like that. And he shot 8 of 15, which is fine. But like that other game they pissed away on Saturday against Atlanta, he was 9 for 27 to get his 24 points, which is above his season average. 2 of 9 from 3. 5 of 12 against Orlando. 4 of 16 against Toronto, another game they lost to one of the worst teams in basketball. New Orleans, 6 of 14. They almost lost back-to-back games to literally the two worst teams in the league. 8 of 19 against Oklahoma City in a big game. It's just he's not efficient at all. And when you watch the game last night, you'd say, stop giving him the ball. Give it to Jaden Springer. Stop giving Jaylen Brown the ball. That's what I was screaming at the TV at like 1 a.m. last night. I don't know what the hell happened. And again, it's not just Jaylen Brown in terms of this pissing games away, because that Clippers game last night was eerily similar. God, I can't talk. My talking is like Jaylen Brown with the ball in the last minute of the game. That Clippers game last night was eerily similar to the game they just completely pissed away against Atlanta on Saturday, the most embarrassing loss of the season, which they broke that record that they had set on the Wednesday before against Toronto. But they had that game in hand with the minute to go, and then they just start throwing the ball all over the place. They're missing layups, and they can't defend down the stretch. And they lost that game to the Hawks. And like the Clippers are, 6 or 7 games over, but when they don't have James Harden out there and Kevin Porter's their dude, like that's essentially the Hawks, man. I don't know what to tell you. And by the way, Jaden Springer did it on the defensive end too. Kevin Porter did not want to go anywhere near Jaden Springer last night. And he had, at one point, he had like 4 steals and like 10 possessions or something. He was fantastic last night. Give it up for the Jaden Springer game, who is now up to 1.5 points per game. Love that for him. But it comes off a big win last night. 8 points for him, including 2 big threes in I think one of them was in the fourth quarter. One of them was in overtime. But defensively, he was terrific. He stole the ball 4 times in 20 minutes played. So Jaden Springer, welcome to the show, baby. Welcome to the show.
We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. And if you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a ton. You can follow me on Twitter here for some more outrageous Boston sports takes coming to you every weekday at noon Eastern time. And then after that, wherever you get your podcasts.
We are Rogue Media Sports.